Uh-oh.
Oh no, I know. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I'd like to welcome Bird. Is this your first stream here, Bird?
I believe it is.
Then
I've
I would
never
like to.
done this YouTube before.
Yes, welcome. Unfortunately, you're beside Professor Brainy Specs. So, as you can see, he's just simply a giant floating head. God rest his legs. So,
I'm more than just a head. Come on.
well, no.
I see a neck
Oh.
and hands.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Look,
See my
see,
elbows and got a shirt and come on.
Fine. Okay, so we're going to be talking about brand new episode, Gently Falling Rain. What did everyone think about it? Bird, since you're brand new here, we'll start off with you.
I thought it was a lot to unpack, and he couldn't have been more on. He couldn't have been more
On the nose?
on the nose with some of the politics going on right now.
Yeah.
He got lucky, really, really lucky, I think, with that. But
you can kind of tell when this episode was written.
Yeah, well, it was definitely written, I'd say a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't think it was one of the best Orville episodes because there were a lot. They have so many great episodes, but I think it was the best episode of this season. Far.
Definitely. Dalek, what about you?
Right. Bird of Prey 5. You think this episode was the best so far this season?
By far.
I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with that.
And that's why we have a panel, because everyone gets their opinions. Dalek, why don't you think this wasn't the best?
Can I just ask which one does he think is better?
Yeah.
My personal favorite so far is episode 2.
Okay.
My personal favorite is episode 1. This is a close followed by episode 2. So it's episode 1, 4, 2. And I'm still tied about where I place in episode 3.
I just think you don't like the number 3.
I don't like you, Jeff.
Yeah, I know that. You show that to me every week, every day.
Hey! So one of the things that we got back is the sense of humor. Now, I don't have the full pictures, but we got to see this.
I'll admit, this was hilarious.
That was
a great
but
line
Jeff,
you had.
Yes. Jeff, what did you think?
I thought this was by far the best produced episode of the season thus far. You look at all the krill that were seen in this episode, all the makeup work they had to do. That was just phenomenal. They bring in Bruce Boxleitner as the president of the union. That was great casting. It was your typical people get captured, you need to rescue them type episode, but it was so well done. Like Bird said, they were pretty on the nose with the politics in this episode.
Yeah, but look at just the creativity of this alien. I don't know why, I just love him.
Frankly, I don't know how they had the time to come up with all the makeup for all the side people, on Krill.
Yeah,
it was just phenomenally well done.
I miss they were funnier in the last season. They kind of got serious now. Yeah, but they're on kind of a more serious platform as well. Like, compared to where they were, because everything on Fox was a whole lot jokier than Hulu.
Well, even season 2, I thought, was quite a bit tamer in the humor department. They still was.
Towards the second half of the season, of season 2, you could feel them, in the words, growing up, pushing away from the slapstick. John, what did you think?
Well, I thought this was a pretty good episode. When I first started watching it, I was a little bit worried that maybe they would turn Talea into a caricature of a certain politician. But by the time they were done, I thought she ended up being like a more complicated character. So I like
yes.
that we learned more about the krill as a species.
I love the fact that we actually did. One thing I was disappointed and doesn't make sense, this is just a nitpick, is last season or in the first season when they saw the captain on the Krill Destroyer that they destroyed, they said "My Lord," which means that they have a monarchy, right? So where's the emperor when we see the head of it is a chancellor? That's not monarchy.
Potatoes. Oh,
Yes.
I don't think that the writers know. They're probably more used to just saying these things. They don't know that it actually comes with a government backup. As an American, I wouldn't know that without a monarchy.
You can't have a nobility.
Is required.
They're a very religious species, so in their whole society, maybe they've got kind of a feudal republic. As weird as that sounds,
A theocratic feudal republic, possibly.
Well, they had that board of whatever that
Yes,
seemed to
the
be,
border priest.
Yeah, like that. I guess that would be the equivalent to a single emperor or something.
Possibly,
But
yeah,
they
because
seem to be,
yeah. So we saw Krill. Now I was saying this behind the scenes. Birds of Prey. Bert, you want to drop your channel in the chat and I give you a wrench?
Sure. Well, I'll have to say hello. So first.
Hold on. I've already seen you, and you now have a wrench. So, what do you guys think of the look of Krill after all the times we hearing about Krill and the race? Actually seeing the planet, not the city. I'm talking about the planet itself.
I'll be honest. From this view, I was disappointed. There's no lights. There's no cities.
But
from Earth, even in 2000, even now, you would see a lot more from space than what we're seeing here.
But
I thought the cloud cover. I thought the cloud cover was way too dense. I mean, the surface shouldn't get any sunlight. It would seem like.
But they don't get sunlight because we're.
Well, yeah, wasn't that established? With the krill, that they're highly sensitive to sunlight. It can kill them, and because the whole their environment is pretty much almost perpetual darkness on their planets.
Yeah,
I just don't know how
saw.
Life gets going without a lot of light, but
true. But here's the thing, as well. At the same time, another little nitpick. Well. And the only thing they said that the planet is average temperature is minus 80 below zero. That is a cool thing. Where's their jackets? Like it seems that they said a couple of things and then they forgot about it.
I agree. Yeah, the Union people should have been freezing.
That's inevitable in any show, though.
Yeah.
No, they could have had them in winter dress.
I know this wouldn't have made a big difference, but I thought they said it was like 3 above or something like that.
Something like that, but that's still freezing.
Yeah,
because they're using Celsius. Yeah, so John says, "True again. We should see the clouds from space." Yeah, but the costumes and everything. Now, what did you think of the Chancellor? Personally, I thought he was a bit of a twat. He is your typical politician. Like
he is.
Yes.
What was
that?
that?
Bird?
I was surprised he was so into being so helpful. Like this was, he didn't. It seemed like maybe if more time had passed, maybe I would have believed it. He seemed to be way too sympathetic.
So,
but
yeah.
then again,
So,
as long as they've been at war, you have no idea how many people within their own society might have had these feelings and just kind of had to keep them quiet.
yeah, but at the same time, it's how many people they've lost. Like, how many different, throughout history, how many different countries have said we need to end the war? Even in your American guys' own military history. How during World War II, during Vietnam, during Korea, people were saying end the war. So, like, and we don't know how long the Krill were fighting humanity.
You could think of this chancellor as like the equivalent of Chancellor Gorkin, who wanted to reach out and start a peace initiative, but he had other opponents from within the Klingon government who would oppose him, like General Chang.
Exactly. Which we did see, because his aide, who I'm going to call him, did oppose him. And he got shut down. Do I have a picture of the guy? Yeah, the guy here at the back left in the photo. Also, the new character, I forget her name. She is fucking tiny.
Charlie.
Yeah. Like, she is absolutely itty bitty. But yeah, so the guy on the...
remember the name, Bird.
Yeah.
not for the reasons.
But yeah, so the guy on the back left. Now, for those of you who did not see or can't remember, this is the character who they were talking, Talia.
Talea.
Thank you, Talea. So Talea basically was literally a populist. She was playing on their fears. That their whole entire civilization that they beat. I honestly saw Klingons in this. Honestly. In her speech and when she was talking, I could easily see that being the Klingons.
From Star Trek 6?
Yeah.
Or Star Trek Discovery?
I don't know what Discovery is.
Okay, good answer.
But yeah, from like Star Trek 6, if not even up as far as like Gowron. And his whole era. Like when they're talking, you could like when she was talking to the crowds. Yes, 6, exactly. But one of the things we discovered that the Krill use is a form of fake news, where they use holographic technology to show all this like stuff. It's like fake massacre, fake protests, and everything. So you're just, at the end of the day, they can't trust any of their own politicians. They can't trust their own news media.
Can we?
No. Oh. But yeah, so the president, the first time we saw the president of this guy, what did you think?
Thought he looked like a gumball.
Well, yeah. But I'm talking about him as a character.
I wanted to chew him and see how sweet he was.
Wow.
So Bird, what you're saying is you wanted to see how many licks it takes to get to a center?
I wanted to see how many I could put in my mouth.
I don't think. I don't.
I'm sorry.
I thought he was underused in the episode.
We
I mean,
didn't
they get
see.
this big name, Bruce Boxleitner, who we know from a lot of other TV shows.
We didn't see. Look, we didn't see nearly enough of this guy to get a full feel of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was, for someone of that level, he should have been an admiral, in my opinion.
He was president.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, for the character, they should have had the president. Maybe we might see him again later on. So
what you're
we
saying,
can see him again.
Well,
he should be an admiral. He outranks an admiral.
Why are you saying he should be an admiral?
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying
sure
that they should have taken the character and made him into an admiral for the amount of time that we're after spending with him.
instead of being president, he should have been
Yes.
an admiral.
Yeah. Admiral Gumball.
It wasn't
So-
lost on me that the admiral who went into battle was a woman.
Yeah.
That I didn't care about that.
Yeah, like that.
I don't. I don't
that's-
really think. I
oh, yeah,
wouldn't
like-
really put that down to woke points. Honestly, the way they handled it, like we've known her for a couple of seasons at this stage, and she is a proven military commander. Like to them, whenever they go, she's giving them orders and everything. She just showed up with the fleet.
Right. It seemed like Kelly was more in charge of the fleet.
Yeah. Speaking about in charge, we finally see Avis, the lovable, cute hentai monster. Look at those tentacles. Don't you just want to uwu him?
I'll let you do.
So, $50 on OnlyFans. So, what did you think of the city?
So yeah, this was interesting. We finally get to see what Avis actually looks like.
Yeah.
Now-
Interesting
No.
look for him.
We had already seen him in their holy book. Like we had already seen the picture of him.
Yeah.
Now, if this,
But the city itself, like, what did you think
No, I
of
will
the
s-
city?
now I will say this. This is definitely something I really liked about this episode. How the look of the Krill capital, and it looked amazing. It really did.
It looked like a party city, which was weird because for such a military race, to have a city that feels like a party city.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I got out of it that maybe not as religious as
they appear.
the whole planet. Maybe the people who make it into space are the most religious.
Yeah.
Because I mean, clearly what we saw was not, didn't jive with what we had been seeing
No,
up to that
sure.
point. It was a beautiful city.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Later on in
indeed.
the episode, we saw him in the city when Mercer had to go on the run. We saw him in the city, and there was a guy. There was no religious. Did you notice that? There was no religious symbols anywhere. And nobody was saying "Bye Avis" or anything like that down there. It's just like an ordinary city.
Yeah, now you mention it.
Well, prior to this, when we've seen the Krill basically been interacting with their military, this is the first time we've really got to see a bunch of Krill civilians. So that might explain the discrepancy, so to speak.
Yeah. It seems that they're only really religious on the ships because there's a priest on board. Like, maybe because it seems like, to me, in a way that could be like the followers of any faith, that you kind of act really your best when your priest, your pastor, your minister, who's ever around you, that you'll act your best and you're most religious. That's how I'm now thinking that the ships are.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I think we need to see more of the Krill society.
Yeah.
The
So,
civilians
speaking about the society, the society went through a tonal shift. The leader went from having an outie to an innie. When during the elections, she took over in a very snazzy outfit, I must say. But yeah, so her elections, and we have to talk about the elephant in the room. The way that they said it was a coup, I rolled my eyes with that. What about you guys?
a coup.
Yeah,
Is it-
when they're talking about it, how she stole the elections and how it was a coup.
Well, it was kind of a reverse of what we experienced.
Do tell.
Well, not to go into names or anything, but
No, yeah.
the the sitting power was the one that was accused of being performing a coup.
Yeah.
To keep power. Here it's the opposite. You have the
Hey,
party
Tim.
won the election, supposedly performing the coup.
So John said she was, and the admiral shouldn't. She should not have been the boss of all those ships. She was an admiral. Like,
yeah, I had no problem with her being in charge of the fleet.
Who should not have been? Wait, who should not have been the boss? That
female. Yeah, the female admiral.
Well, why shouldn't she be? She's an admiral.
Yeah, like we've seen that in Star Trek. One admiral is in charge of like squadrons of ships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
yeah,
hey
I didn't
Daniel.
have a problem with it.
He said the Chancellor said, the mall place had every krill from everywhere else all across the planet, which is true. Like, when he was talking about that marketplace, honestly, it kind of seemed nearly religious. Like, and the krill are capitalists. Confirmed. Like that the merchant guild are the backbone of their civilization.
That's what he said.
Yeah. So congratulations. Screw socialism.
Now, I was a little surprised how quickly the seating power changed after the election.
Yes. Now that, honestly, I got the feeling from just historical stuff of old feudal kings, where literally like one king had set up, just say, I'm the king, I topple another king, right? I'm already placed in charge. I have my supporters, my guards are already there. So I'm already in the location to immediately take over. That's how it felt to me. Like, it was already staged. She knew what was going. She had her supporters in the central plaza, whatever, because we never saw the actual building.
Right.
Of it. So when the power switch came, she was already there. Yeah. It honestly, Bird, would you agree? It was very Klingon.
What was very Klingon?
Her
power?
Yeah, the power switch.
Well, I mean, they were a completely different type of government. There's no election. I'm sorry. I can't see Klingons voting.
No. I'm not talking to vote. I'm talking about the switch of power.
He's talking about the abrupt aggressiveness of the switch of power.
Then that's very okay. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the handover of power. That moment seemed very like Klingon, of like the Chancellor and everything. And we find out that they kill the previous guy in charge, so he's gone.
I don't think they normally kill the previous guy.
No, not normally. Like that because she said he was guilty of treason.
Right.
So she kind of
there was no trial or anything. So maybe they don't have trials. Who knows? I seem to me like though they would normally have a trial.
It is the whole thing happens so fast. It's
jarring.
It's very hard to actually wrap your head around what's actually happening or what's supposed to happen.
That's the point.
In this.
That's what happens in real world coups.
In no reality whatsoever, though, could I ever imagine like the White House, the president, or anybody having a different country over to sign a peace treaty on election night?
Yeah, that was weird.
That's just simply irresponsible. And why the union would even choose to go?
Yeah,
they should have been like, ooh, let's go the next night. Or the night before.
Let's wait.
Yeah, we can't do it the night of an election.
Yeah, it was just so. Yeah, the whole thing was just such convenient timing, wasn't it?
Let's face it though, this show has rushed a lot because of the sordid history of how and not knowing if they're going to get another season. They have rushed a lot with between the Krill and just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I feel like teaming up with the Krill one time against the Kalons should not have been the great momentous step that it was. They should have. I mean, in any realistic scenario, they'd have still been fighting for another 100 years.
They would have, but at the same time, with what they did, and I'm convinced of this. You can tell me how stupid I am, but so the Union played in my head. The Union played on the Krill's religion because they hate soulless monsters, as what they called the Union, right? So these literal soulless machines are out there killing people. That's what they played on. And we heard from the Krill last episode. As soon as this war is over, we will start fighting again. So I don't think the Krill actually saw it. Most of the Krill saw it as a peace. I think they saw it as like an armistice, like this is a suspension of battle, a ceasefire.
I mean, and I agree with you there. I'm a full disclosure. I feel like this whole season so far has been very anticlimactic compared to the second season. So far.
But yeah, but we have to get to the end. We're only on episode 4 though.
I get that, and I'm not like criticizing. I'm just saying by comparison.
By comparison, yeah. But by comparison, they knew they were getting a season 3. They don't know if they're getting a season 4.
I thought they said they were.
No.
Nothing's been confirmed as far as I know.
No.
Oh, okay.
It won't be confirmed until after the end of the season. They're waiting for the metrics to come true. Now, I think that they will because, and one of the things, and I'm saying this every single stream, that one of the things that really pisses me off is that there's no merch. Like, we would all love merch. Bird, you love merch yourself, right?
I hate merch.
Bird, everyone hates you for a reason.
I like merch. I like merch.
He's kidding. He's messing around.
No, I know that, and I know Bird. But yeah, Dalek, you like magnets for the inside of your war tank, right? Some's got to hold up his Hello Kitty poster. That's got weird stains on it.
Oh my god.
It's not Hulu. It's actually Disney who kind of has to make the decision.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because over in my part of the world, in the wasteland known as Europia, it's on Disney Plus.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, you guys. I've seen some really weird things in the conversion there.
Yeah, it's moment of silence for the conversion. But back to the episode. So with the whole takeover of power and everything, we find out that she still has feelings for Mercer.
She actually, yeah.
Oh, we could tell she did during the episode where they were stranded together.
Yeah, which is she's playing off that she doesn't, but she's not hiding it very well.
Well, and what I love is what they've done here. You know, unlike Captain Kirk, who was kind of just getting with people, Mercer has real heart attachments to these women. Like this is a really nice change of pace.
Speaking about attachments, he's now got one extra attachment, everybody. His child.
That happened.
Yeah, but that was quite a surprise.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I thought she was fucking adorable.
I'm sorry. This whole scene with this whole scene with her with this kid, it had me rolling my eyes. All of it.
Why? Why did you not like this scene?
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a touching moment seeing Ed with his
abomination,
who's literally his own kid.
Yeah.
But everything's doing. But everything they were saying, the moment everything they were. I mean, the way the episode had gone up to that point, and when I first saw her, I was like, oh crap, here we go. She's the little girl is the key to everything. It's like, and then everything they were saying is like, she's smart, she's amazing, blah blah blah.
But Dalek, the thing is, the people who are saying she's smart and she's amazing, right, are pretty much her parents. Anyone with kids or with young family are biased. They will say she is smart and she is amazing. It's not a woke thing. It's parents.
It's true. Even my parents.
I would have been
used to say those things.
Well, maybe I would have been a little more receptive if I should maybe just a little more receptive if I don't know, if it was a boy. I'm sick of it always being a girl.
I can see that. So the thing is, I do not think that she's going to be used the way that we think, because we're all thinking that she's going to be the
I don't think she's going to be used at all.
She's gonna be the future savior of Krill or such crap.
I doubt it. I'm just saying, I could be wrong, but to me, I doubt it. I doubt that because she's only a kid. She's not the military. She's not religious or anything, and she's a half-breed. To them, she's an abomination.
And not to mention the fact that the whole thing with her. How old is she? Just 2 years.
Yeah, that was a little unbelievable how old she looked.
Hey, how can we?
Well, they could age.
She looked like an 8-year-old.
That's the Alexander syndrome, as I like to think.
I mean, this is what I mean. To ask question for all of you: Do you think Krill children age faster than human children?
Yeah.
Well, obviously they do.
Because that's the only way that would make sense.
Okay, I'm going to make a poll. Okay. For everyone in the audience. Ooh. Okay, so the poll I have currently is: do you like this episode? 70% have voted yes and 23% voted no. I'm ending that poll. I'm going to start a brand new poll. Come on. Feck it. I can't start a poll midstream. God damn it.
What do you mean you can't start a poll midstream?
I'm trying to start. Yeah, I know
You've got to end the first poll.
I did it.
Huh.
I didn't know you were having a poll. I would have voted yes.
Okay, so we say you have 78%. Right, so I must have to unpin this message. Okay, there we go. Okay, do the Krill age faster as a kid? Okay,
why would you ask that?
I'm just asking the audience their opinion.
It's Revan. Just go with it.
Yeah. Or is it bad? I think. Okay, so everyone, I have a new poll. Okay, so cast your votes. and let's see how it does. So even the panel, you guys can cast your votes and everything like that. So we have 2 votes for they age faster. People are guessing that they age faster. Because you also do have to remember for this, I'll check in a minute because I'm viewing backstage. You also have to remember as well, we don't know much about the krill biology at the same time. Like, look at Topa. Topa was like 9 the next episode.
But it also seems like it seems like their race in particular, it seems like Bortus, I forget the name of the race, the Mocklins. Seems like the Mocklins age really fast when they're really young, and then they like even out or age slower as they get older. Because what's her name, Havina or whatever, she's got to be like ancient, and yet she seems maybe early 60s.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of thing is a trope in TV in general, and particularly in Star Trek. You have lots of characters will be born one season, and then the next season they're like 5 or 8 or something.
Can I give you the real world explanation for that?
Real world explanation?
Yes. I did a bit of film study and things like that, and it's an actual real world explanation. Money. If you're hiring a baby, toddler to newborn, okay, you have to hire twins.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's why they do it. They'll have the baby. You'll be like, look at the baby. Boom, alien race, older. Right? They'll give no explanation of what's going on because they don't really need to, alien. And suddenly the character is above the age that you need a twin for. That is sense. Why. And as well, for the sound engineers, because the parents have to be on set the whole time, they have to be on hand. Then you have to have the parents are over at the side playing with the baby, right? So when the sound engineers are trying to catch Mercer's lines talking with the little girl who acted very well, right? There's a baby over in the corner crying its lungs out. That's why. It's a sound engineering problem, and it's financials. Dalek, does this make sense to you? Real world. I'm not saying it's not weird in show, but I'm just talking about real world.
Wait. So the reason
is money. Money and sound engineering. That's literally why.
Money and sound engineering.
Yes. And the reason why you don't see kids as well is because when a kid is on set, you also have to hire a tutor. You have to have them with... They do have playtime. They have nap times.
Right.
So you have to hire all these people. So this is why we don't see the kids on the Orville that much. That's why. Real world explanation, people.
It makes it difficult to schedule scenes and more difficult because you have to wonder when they're going to be tutoring or napping or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly, Jeff. Okay, so my poll is literally 50-50 at the moment, guys. As do they age faster or is it bad writing? Currently, the people right now are voting 50-50. So, yeah.
A lot of times, I think
see
it's for plot purposes.
Yeah.
Now I can see it both ways.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of fits both ways. Real world mixed with plot purposes. But then again, you should have also have thrown in a line when Mercer was walking down the alley before he says, even though you saw her 2 years ago, us krill as children, we do age faster until about the age of 10. And then our line lives and we live for maybe, say, 250 years. Let's just say. Right? So then you could, if you had thrown that scene in, this whole question would have gone away.
It would have, yes.
Yeah. Little things like this, I believe that they're missing. John says, they need him to talk to her, to his daughter. So yeah, I know that, but they could have, if they had said season 3 is a little bit further out, an extra 2 years, that would have also helped a lot of questions. Because I remember Dalek having questions from the first stream where he said that it seemed a bit rushed with all the advancements. So I do know that a couple of people, and I have seen it on Facebook as well, is that people have had questions about the timeline of the show.
Which all things considered makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So what were your guys' favorite moments from this episode? No matter how big or how little, can just be even random things.
Well, the most exciting part. Sorry,
go ahead, John. I was
gonna say, well, that was the most exciting part with the space battle. I thought that looked awesome.
It did. It absolutely did.
I think my favorite. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think my favorite part was actually at the beginning in the simulator. I thought it was fun to watch the crew participate in that simulation. Isaac coming in like that,
yes,
line, and
that was the only.
And we got a little scene there between Lamar and the security officer, which was interesting. Is there going to be a relationship there?
Exactly, Dalek, you were saying.
Yeah, that part of the beginning with when they were in the simulation in that Western tavern, I guess you could call it. It's like that was the only, and then Isaac came in and said that line. And
what did he say? There's not enough.
That's probably the only part of the episode that gave me a genuine laugh.
Bird, what about you? What's your favorite?
Basically, he said. I think basically Isaac was just saying a long-winded way of saying this town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what he was saying.
Because my favorite part didn't happen when they said to Lamar to start, what was it, interface 21 or
yeah,
it wasn't interface though, it was something 21,
yes,
yeah. Anyway, so I was like, oh well, this
was it called Protocol 21?
Protocol 21.
So I was like, okay, this is going to be something good. If you're going to name something Protocol 21 and you leave us thinking, you better have something really cool for us. Because I thought, oh, Protocol 21. I was like, I bet it's got something to do with time travel, because they had some time travel experience. What if their Protocol 21 was them going back and telling themselves 2 days before not to go because something goes down? And then we actually see, I thought everybody on that shuttle was going to die. And we were going to do Protocol 21 and undo it with time travel.
I almost got a vibe of Galaxy Quest with Omega 13.
Right, exactly. So that's why I was thinking, you go back in time, although they can only do it a few seconds. But that was first thought. Then my second thought was, oh, maybe it's using holograms. They make a giant Avis appear over the city. And
that would have been cool.
You don't have to actually do anything. You just have to confuse them for a few minutes just to get everybody out of there. And you see this giant Avis, and he starts speaking and whatever, and people start landing and like starting writing shit down and stuff. And everybody is, and Talia, whatever's like, this is a fake. They're like, it's Avis. He's returned. and she's getting mad at people because they're too stupid to realize that they're being lied to. But that would be so awesome. The giant Avis over the city, and meanwhile, all the Union people sneak out. And then it turned out to just be a simple, jailbreak. I was like,
But that sequence when they were flying through the city, that was fun. I do admit it. That was.
But why did they need a car? Why didn't they just take the shuttle?
They needed to get to
so
the
they
shuttle
they could approach the Capitol.
Oh,
yeah.
They have a cloaking device.
But the cloaking device. But what? Yeah, but you're forgetting something. It's on the night of an election. Those things. Yeah, but also they're going to need codes, entry codes, exit codes, scanner IDs that the shuttle simply does not have.
It didn't seem that they needed any of those things.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Listen, it's fine. I know it's a TV show, but I just see this because they had me thinking about what Protocol 21 was going to be, and I thought more than they did, obviously.
Yeah. Dalek, what was your favorite point? A moment in this.
You talking to me?
No,
I said Dalek.
He's asking me. Well, there's two. Well, there's two. I suppose there's two parts of it. Definitely the funniest part was like I already said, the bit with Isaac in the saloon. That was funny.
Yes. My favorite part, honestly, was during the battle was when the ship did all the twirly bits and Bortus nearly threw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get a chuckle out of that.
Yeah.
That was
that
bit was good, and I think that I liked the chase with the chase / escape from the Grill City, even though it turned out the whole thing Protocol 21 thing was a bit disappointing because it was just the Lamar and Dr. Finn disguised as Krill.
Yeah. But John, what about you?
I'm sorry, I had to step away for a minute. What was the question?
What was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh, my favorite part. Aside from the space battle, I liked that. I'm trying to think how to explain this. I like that Talia, even though she seems like just maybe at first a two-dimensional antagonist, where she has the meeting with Ed, and you realize that maybe she's a little bit more complicated. She has a little more going on under the surface than she might project to her followers.
Yeah, which I like. She's like basically acting as if she didn't care for the child. She's like, I don't really give two fucks about the kid. And then at the end of it, where is it? Down in this scene, what you actually see is that she is watching her child play. Yeah. Like, which was to me really fucking sweet.
Which makes me think that the child will play into some sort of peace in the future. Because she does
don't think that
her.
the child. Yeah, I don't think the child is going to be the big like, oh, this is our new Lord and Savior, white kid.
No, I don't think.
Right?
That.
I don't think. No, I think what they're going to do is they're going to change her heart a little bit. Like they're going to melt her heart, and maybe
she'll
maybe
be a
she's
symbol.
like, yeah, maybe she says, our daughter cannot stay with the Krill, for the Krill will see her as an abomination. And she touches her face and she says, she could go with you. And then you see Mercer. Mercer's like, oh, with the war this ship is, and they get her off the ship and send her to his grandparents back to Earth to learn her culture. Therefore, you have her as a recurring character, and you can use her sparingly, and you don't have to keep the actress and the whole rigmarole for kids on set the whole time. So, what do you think of that for an idea?
That would make sense if they did it.
Yeah. Well, we've got a bit to go to see. Like, we've got another 6 weeks. What do you want this? Where do you want this to go? Where do you want this season to go? We're on episode 4. Bird, where do you want to see this going?
I want to go back to episodes like Majority Rule, where there's a place they go, they have a mission, they come back, everybody thinks about the mission. And
so you want an episode like a Body of the Week episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
With a B plot, an A plot, a B plot.
Although I would love to see one of those kind of episodes where their bosses, their top brass, aren't just absolutely freaking useless.
Well, let's face it.
We're like stacking, like every time they've had somebody stranded somewhere, the answer's the same. Oh, we can't interfere. They're on their own. Like, screw you. Just saying.
Well, I don't think you had that this time. I mean, you had the Union send all these ships to Krill to rescue.
Oh, no. I acknowledge that. I haven't actually seen this episode. I had said that before we all started, but
yeah,
I don't mind spoilers. But but no, I'm talking about on those other ones like Majority Rule or the one where they're the one where they're on the planet where they with the star signs like and Grayson and Bortus get captured and all that. Like that irritated me.
All the world is birthday cake.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And coming from someone who's had 3 really, really sucky birthdays in a row, that one really hit hard. That one hurt. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no. As far as as far as that goes, I'm still enjoying so far. Now, I think the best episode this season so far has been the first one. There was just something about robot suicide, because he's slowly learning that he does have all of our emotions. He just Isaac just doesn't understand that he doesn't process them the way that humans do. And
yeah,
I'm loving that because over the years, anybody who's read Marvel and knows about Vision or has watched Star Trek: The Next Generation or but the point is that it's just really cool to see this. And because we knew, like I said, I still love the when he brings her the banana because she gets cantankerous after she hasn't eaten by a certain hour. Like it's little stuff like that just is great. And of course, when she's trying to explain to him, when Dr. Finn's trying to explain to him that when you believe the only logical way to make everybody else's lives better is to delete yourself from this existence, that is the epitome of suicidal thoughts, and I like I said, I absolutely loved, but I absolutely loved the dynamic there, and of course, it sucks because everybody else on the ship, they have a reason and a right to hate him, but they also have every reason to forgive him, and it's that they're just having to come to terms with that.
I'm going to suggest something stupid, right?
Okay.
What if, say for talk's sake, they need a meeting on Earth, whatever the plot reason is, but Isaac has to go as well, being the bridge crew, okay? So you see an engineer and he walks up and he's like, Isaac, listen, a lot of the people are going to hate you. A lot of the Admiralty, when they see you, we've all lost a lot of people. I lost my wife, things like that, okay? He says, put this on, and he attaches onto Isaac's chest the Union badge, right? And as soon as he puts it on, you see the actor who's playing Isaac in an Orville uniform.
That's not stupid. That would be kick-ass.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
And you just see Charlie, and she's just there looking at him because he's no longer a Kalon. He looks like a human. And he's there, and he's like still doing all the movements that Isaac does. Holds his hands and does his head and everything. And then you see Claire giving him a smile because he's back, and he's like, "Do I please you, Claire?" Like in his little Isaac way. And then you could see him talking and everything, and they're like saying that he's still a machine and everything. And then he could have the crew coming to his aid to stand up, and you could have the episode being a whole thing about having outsiders versus insiders thing. Which, because with modern society, we are othering people. Like, oh, they are others. They are them. They are, like, they like Star Trek Discovery. That's another. They like classic Trek. That's from the people who like Discovery. That's another. You're left, you're right. Like, instead of being at the end of the day, we are all people, except for Dalek, who's a trash can on wheels.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well,
but,
okay, so as far as that goes, yeah. As far as that goes, though, I will say I love the way this show handles the the entire traditional aspect of the Mocklins. It's funny because nobody hates Clyden because of Clyden's old-fashioned beliefs. They hate Clyden. I think
he's a dick.
Bortus
exactly.
Bortus said it best. Has your time on this ship not changed your perspective even a little? We see Bortus. He has been as open-minded as he can possibly be. He has tried his hardest. He's learned new things. He's adapted. But Clyden literally shuts himself away as hard as he possibly can to try to keep from having to let in any belief except for how he was raised. And that's the thing. It's not it's not that he's clinging to these old beliefs, because everybody has old beliefs that die hard. It's the fact that he refuses to even acknowledge that other beliefs could possibly, lead to happiness or lead to virtue, or
Yeah.
And so it's
what I really like about that with Bortus is it's not left versus right. It's simply someone who's closed-minded. Like, you could say to...
Well, and
you
Bortus
could have...
still loves him.
Does he, though?
He if he didn't, he wouldn't try that hard. He wouldn't get that angry at him every time something like that. That's the thing. We've seen him and Bortus have gone through a lot of him and Bortus, Clyden and Bortus have gone through a lot of fights and stuff. But the fact remains that that they're still mates, they're still the parents of their child, they're still, no matter how hurt he feels by Clyden, he does still love him, and that's why he keeps trying so hard. I believe, in all seriousness, most Earthlings would have ditched Clyden by now, like by a long shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to because we're at the hour mark where you always wrap it up. So we're going to go with the guests first. So Bird, you want to shill yourself?
Do I want to what myself?
Shill. You want to push your channel?
Oh, Kapla World, it's Berto Prey 5. You can check me out on bertoprey5.com for all your Berto Prey 5 needs.
Yes. John, you have a Jeb Nerdy?
Yes, on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, I do a Star Trek themed Jeopardy on my channel. with Professor Brainy Specs here as my co-host. He's designed an excellent Jeopardy board. I'll go and throw the link in that for tomorrow if anybody wants to check it out. We'd love to have you on.
I have just posted the link.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we booked to join us as a contestant on the show. So
Nice.
Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Dalek, what about you?
There's not really much for me to say except I have my own channel. I do live stream sometimes. Like I might sometimes do a review, or usually I just have a bunch of some guests come on and we just have a chat.
Yeah.
And
okay. Thanks for that, Dalek. But yeah, Dalek is a good guy. Go check him out. He's trying to get his streaming feet wet. We all had to begin somewhere, guys. So go and check him out. You won't regret it. You want to take it away, dear Specs?
Sure.
Oh, Farv, one sec. Farv, drop your book link in and for me, please. Okay, go ahead.
In addition to co-hosting on John's channel for Jet Nerdy, I co-host two other channels rather. One of them is on Sundays at 4:30 Eastern. That is A Question of Trek. It's another quiz show that I help produce. We have a lot of fun, a lot of banter. We have people come on the show as guests and play along. So do check us out, 4:30 Eastern on Sundays. And then I'm also on History with R&R, where we take a little more serious look at history, at different aspects of history. We usually have a live stream Monday afternoons at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you like history, do check us out. History with R&R. Links are in the chat. And I want to say one other thing about the episode. I think maybe it was on the first episode when we reviewed, somebody said that the music sounded like Star Trek. Maybe I misheard, or maybe it was on another review that I watched. I actually think it's more like Star Wars. I couldn't get over how much the music sounded like John Williams' bombastic Star Wars music. When they were going through the atmosphere to go down to Krill.
It does.
The space battle. It
feels
sounded
very like Star
Wars to me.
So there is a panel member who couldn't be here tonight because he transformed into a werewolf. So our friend Farv has actually published his own book. The link is here. It'll be posted, as well as all the links will be posted in the description below after this. But he's reading a book. It's a fantasy book. It's not woke. It's not crap. He's a good guy. He's a vet. He took years to write this. And, if you want something new, right? You want something that's not going to pander to anyone. You just want some fun, right? Get his book. It's reasonably priced. It is $18.71 for the hardcover, or it's $3 for a Kindle. But if you want an autographed version of it, you can contact him on my Discord, and he will be more than happy to give you a free book in exchange for money. He is very reasonably priced, and Farv also has a YouTube channel where he plays games. If you're into Farv. If you're into retro games, retro style games, just fun banter in general, go check him out. He is a fantastic guy. I was there in the stream. He needs more subscribers. He just hit 80, but he is a great laugh. A great guy. He knows Star Trek inside out. He knows so many nerd fandoms. He can keep you going for hours. and you will learn swear words and languages that are only known to the deepest people in sub-Saharan Africa. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like he swears, and his brother's a great co-host as well. Can't wait to have Farv back on, but Farv's been missing due to some personal stuff going on, and life's been a bitch. So I would like to thank all the guys for coming on. I'd like to thank Bird. I'd like to thank John. I'd like to thank Bubba. I'd like to thank Jeff and Dalek, of course.
Don't forget Dalek.
Right before we go. Yeah. Right before we go. To a previous point.
You wouldn't forget me, would you?
Yeah. I had said this when I finished season 2 a couple weeks ago. It was already telling when they were doing a better Star Trek than current Star Trek. But like y'all said, they're doing better Star Wars than Star Wars too. Now I get it, the bar is in the basement of hell, but this show continues, even on its weak episodes, continues to knock it out of the park, and it keeps me coming back, and I haven't had anything like that for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Farv's channel is Retro Style Shooters, Guild Wars, and JRPGs. If you're into any of those, go and check him out. And always remember that this is Star Trek Orville. Good night, everyone.